Distributed AI inside organizations, Gemini Prompt. In any organization with recent generation PCs, most of the CPU cycles and memory locations are wasted because typical workloads don't require much of their capacity. Suggest ways and tools for spreading a 70 billion parameter AI model over a number of PCs. 70 billion parameter models are selected because they will do almost everything a much larger model will do. Response: spreading a 70 billion 70B parameter model across a fleet of Office PCs is a highly effective way to utilize dark silicon, the idle CPU, and RAM that usually sits dormant during daily tasks. To run a 70 billion model, you need approximately 40 gigabytes to 45 gigabytes of VRAM/RAM at 4-bit quantization. Since most individual PCs only have 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes, distributing the model layers across multiple machines is the only way to run it without massive performance hits from disk swapping. 1. Top recommended tools. These tools are specifically designed to split, a single AI model across a network of heterogeneous devices. EXO, highly recommended for internal teams. EXO is currently the gold standard for building an AI cluster out of everyday devices. It treats all connected PCs as one large virtual GPU. How it works: it uses dynamic model partitioning. It probes each PC's available RAM and network speed, then slices the 70 billion model into chunks, layers. Key advantage: it is peer-to-peer. There is no complex master node to configure. You simply run EXO on each machine, and they auto-discover each other. Best for a mix of MacBooks using MLX and Windows/Linux PCs using NVIDIA/AMD. Petals, BitTorrent for LLMs. Petals is designed for very large models, 70 billion to 405 billion, and operates like a swarm. How it works: each PC in your office runs a small portion of the model, for example, 10 to 20 layers. When a user sends a prompt, it bounces through the network from PC to PC to complete the inference. Key advantage: it is extremely resilient. If one colleague shuts down their PC, the swarm automatically reroutes the request to another available node. Best for organizations where PCs frequently go offline or join the network sporadically. Llama.cpp, distributed mode. The industry standard for local LLMs has a built-in RPC, remote procedure call feature. How it works: you set up one main PC and several worker PCs. The main PC sends specific mathematical tensors to the workers to calculate and return. Key advantage: lowest overhead and most stable for 70 billion models if your network is wired, Ethernet. Best for a fixed set of always-on Office PCs. 2. Implementation strategy. To successfully deploy a 70 billion model across your PCs, follow this tiered strategy. Phase A, quantization. You should never run a 70 billion model in its raw FP16 state, which would require 140 gigabytes of RAM. Use 4-bit Q4_K_M quantization. This reduces the 70 billion model's footprint to approximately 40 gigabytes, while maintaining 99% of the intelligence. Tool: use GGUF format for llama.cpp/exo or EXL2 for high-speed GPU clusters. Phase B, networking requirements. Distributed AI is chattier than standard web traffic. Avoid Wi-Fi. Moving 70 billion parameters worth of activations across Wi-Fi will result in speeds of less than 1 token per second. Gigabit Ethernet. Ensure the PCs are on a 1 gigabit per second, or better, wired LAN. This is the single biggest factor in response speed. Phase C, deployment steps. Identify resources, Audit which PCs have 16 gigabytes plus RAM and which have dedicated GPUs. NVIDIA RTX series is best. Install the runner. Deploy EXO or Olama, which now supports some sharding, via a simple script to the target PCs. The entry point. Set up one central web interface, like OpenWeb UI, that connects to your distributed cluster, allowing employees to use the 70 billion model via a browser. 3. Comparison of distributed approaches. Feature. Exodus. Petals. Llama.cpp. RPC. Setup difficulty. Very low. Auto discovery. Medium. High. Manual IPs. Fault tolerance. Good. Excellent swarm-based. Low. Breaks if node dies. Best hardware. Mixed. Mac/PC/Linux. Primarily NVIDIA GPUs. Anything CPU/GPU. Network speed. High. Supports RDMA. Moderate. High. Do you know that any private information you put into a cloud AI is used to train that AI? A private AI running on your own hardware is the best way to keep your private data private. I can help you set up a private AI on almost any PC or server. Contact me for a free consultation. If you get value from these blogs, please consider joining my Patreon as a member at the $2, $4, or $8 level. There are more than 400 previous blogs on my Patreon page. https://www.patreon.com/Steve Hovland.